All right, we got to playtest the Mages of Strixhaven Unearthed Arcana of 2021. Brand new fucking playtest material. Waiting for some feedback and stuff. The usual beginning bits where they're like, by the way, we just want you to give us some feedback on this. This may be more or less powerful than the default options in the player's handbook. We will adjust accordingly if people like them. So we got some new colleges. Colleges of Strixhaven. The 5 subclasses in this document are designed for characters who dedicate themselves to one of the paths of magic practiced in Strixhaven. The University of Strixhaven is home to a wide variety of students and spellcasters. While individuals are welcome to pursue their magical studies in whichever way they please, some choose to focus exclusively on the fundamentals of one of the university's 5 colleges. Lorehold College, dedicated to the pursuit of history by conversing with ancient spirits and understanding the winds of time itself. Prismari College, dedicated to the visual and performing arts and bolstered with the power of the elements. Quandrix College, dedicated to the study and manipulation of nature's core mathematical principles. Silverquill College, dedicated to the magic of words, whether encouraging speeches that uplift allies or piercing wit that derides foes. Witherbloom College, dedicated to the alchemy of life and death and harnessing the devastating energies of both. So, I'm already interested, okay? I'm hooked a little bit. And the reason why is because while this says colleges of Strixhaven, these colleges can exist in any world. While it is nice to have these based off the Magic the Gathering colleges of Strixhaven, it is also really nice to be able to have the specific colleges not necessarily tied to any one particular setting, right? These are more or less customizable, okay? So you don't necessarily need to be setting a game in the Magic the Gathering universe in order for this to make sense. But it does make it available as well in case that's something that you're interested in, which a lot of people are. So that's nice. Using these subclasses, unlike regular subclasses, the options presented here are designed to be compatible with multiple classes. The classes that are compatible with each subclass option are specified in each subclass's entry. Interesting. So, multiple spellcasters can take the same subclass. I like that. I like that a lot. It means that you're not pigeonholed into a particular class if you want to take one of these subclasses. I like that. That's super fucking awesome. We need more of that. Pigeonholed, whatever. Don't correct me. I am the master of the dungeons here. Choosing the subclass. When you choose a subclass for your character, a Bard's College, a Wizard's Arcane Tradition, so on, you can instead choose one of the subclass options so long as the subclass is compatible with your character's class. You can choose a subclass only once, even if you multi-class into another class that is also compatible with the subclass. Okay, that's necessary. You need to put that in. There's going to be a load of people who are going to be like, okay, so like, I'm going to go level 3, in Bard, and then I'm going to go level 2 in Wizard so that I can take multiples of these subclasses. Please don't. Please don't do that. It might not even be all that effective, but you know there's going to be people who do it. Multi-class spellcasters could take different college subclasses, I would think, just not the same one. Yeah. That's true, but the fact that this is able to be taken by multiple classes makes it so that you have to stipulate that, or people are going to do that, just to see what happens. Even though, I'm gonna guess, it wouldn't at all be useful for them to do so. And then when they realize it later on, they're gonna be like, this is stupid. It wasn't designed for you to do that. Stop it. Stop it. Get some help. How the subclass manifests in your character's story is up to you. Perhaps the sorcerer's innate spark of elemental magic has been determinedly honed by his schooling ever since they were first shown arcane potential. Or your warlock eschewed their patron's usual boons for learning these more esoteric manifestations of power. Maybe your druid chose to attend university instead of joining a druidic circle. Or your wizard balked at traditional apprenticeship in favor of newfangled numeromancy. Who the fuck uses that term? Anyway, at higher levels, like regular subclasses, the subclasses you choose here grant your character new abilities at higher levels. When your character would normally gain a new subclass feature, as noted in your character's class table, you gain a feature from the subclass instead. All the subclass features detailed here have a level prerequisite as noted beneath their name, and you must meet the prerequisite to gain the feature. For example, to gain the feature noted as level 6 or plus, your character must be 6th level or higher in the class for which the subclass was chosen. So you can't be 6th level total and be multi-classed. You have to be 6th level in the class that you took the subclass in. Very important to note. So if you're a wizard with the Mage of Prismari subclass, you must be 6th level wizard to gain the favored medium feature. When you reach certain levels, you might be eligible to choose from among multiple features in the subclass. When you reach such a point, you select one of these features for your character to gain. Unless otherwise specified, you can gain no more than one subclass feature at a time. For example, if you're a bard with the Mage of Lorehold subclass at 14th level, you gain your choice of either the War Echoes feature or the History's Winds feature. Not both. I like further customization in subclasses. So far, super cool. The Mage of Lorehold, able to be learned by bards, warlocks, and wizards. Mages of Lorehold are particularly concerned with the forces that underlie and drive history. Drawing inspirations from the scholars and adventurers of old, they manifest the arcane powers of the past through ethereal dioramas, I can't read, and fantastical battle prowess. Lorehold mages are often found with a long-dead spirit summoned at their side, for who better to learn ancient history from than one who has experienced it firsthand? Upon selecting the Mage of Lorehold subclasses, you gain 2 features, Lorehold spells and Ancient Companion. Ooh, a companion. In this subclass's features, any reference to your class refers to the class from which you gain the subclass. If you're a bard, the College of Lorehold counts as your college. If you're a warlock, the magic of the college serves as your patron. And if you're a wizard, the college represents your arcane tradition. When you subsequently reach a level in your class that gives you a subclass feature, you gain 1 feature. Okay. So, thematically, I'm just going to say, warlocks using a college instead of a patron for the way in which their magic manifests doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Just thematically. It just doesn't jive with me. Because the whole point of a warlock is that you get all of your power from an outside force giving it to you. Then again, perhaps that's the point of this Ancient Companion, and I should read further. When you subsequently reach a level in the class when you gain a subclass feature, you gain 1 feature of your choice from the options presented here. Each feature has a class level prerequisite as noted beneath its name. You must meet that prerequisite to gain the feature. You learn the cantrip Sacred Flame and first level spell Comprehend Languages. You learn additional spells when you reach certain levels in this class, as shown in Lorehold spells table. Each of these spells counts as a class spell for you, but it doesn't count against the number of spells you know. If you're a wizard, you can add these spells to your spellbook upon learning them without expending any gold and prepare them as normal. Why Sacred Flame? Like, it's not a bad cantrip to know, but why Sacred Flame? If the idea of Lorehold is that you're, like, examining the history of all of time, and all the information that comes from it, Sacred Flame seems to be a weird thing that doesn't really go there. Message? I can see that. I don't know. It doesn't seem to match. Each of these spells counts as a class spell for you, but it doesn't count against the number of spells you know. If you are a wizard, you can add these spells to your spellbook upon learning them without expending any gold and prepare them as normal. Sacred Flame doesn't go with the knowledge Lass and Prometheus. No, because you could just use Firebolt or Produce Flame. What about that, psych? Produce Flame actually makes more sense because you can use it to light fires. To light bonfires and stuff. Or just hold it in your hand. Just like use it as a light. Produce Flame makes more sense if we're going to be going with the Prometheus angle, okay? Prometheus brought fire from the gods, i.e. divine fire, ergo Sacred Flame. Psych! I feel like you're semanticing me. I don't appreciate it. Warlock classes in these colleges could work like prodigies or savants, possibly idiot savants in the case of oddball warlocks. Sheldon Cooper would likely be a warlock, smart and gifted, but burdened with all kinds of issues. I don't like that, though, because warlocks are perfectly capable on their own. Many of them are very crafty people who are in, part of being a warlock is being incredibly, charismatic as well. You're not necessarily intelligent, but you have warlocks come in a wide variety of different flavors. I don't know. I don't think that works. Let's see. So here are the spells you get: Knock, Locate Objects, Speak with Dead, Spirit Guardians, Arcane Eye, Stone Shape, Destructive Wave, Legend Lore. Again, Destructive Wave. Why? I can get Spirit Guardians because, it can manifest as the spirits of the dead that you have been researching for so very long. That could be pretty epic and cool. Why Destructive Wave? Why? I don't know. I feel like there could be some better choice on that. I'd have to look though. We're looking at 4th level spells, I think. 5th level spells. Scrying. Just immediately scrying. That makes a whole lot of sense to me. No? I think they wanted to balance it out with some offense. But yeah, go thematically. Look, these are extra spells that you get, right? These are extra spells. So if you want to get some offensive stuff to go along with what you get, these don't count against the things that you learn. So whether you're a warlock or a bard, these are the extra spells you get. They don't count versus your base spells. So you can still learn other shit if you want to get offensive stuff. And let's be honest, as a warlock, if you're not using Eldritch Blast, what the fuck are you doing? And wizards can learn any spell anyway, so I don't know. I guess scrying is able to be learned by bards, warlocks, and wizards already, so they're like, why? I guess the idea is this is a paladin spell, but I don't like that. I don't like taking a spell from people who already suck at spellcasting in the first place and taking one of their end game spells and being these guys get it at 9th level. That seems cheap and annoying. If I was a paladin, I'd be annoyed as fuck. When do paladins get 5th level spells? Level 17 is when a paladin gets a 5th level spell. So these motherfuckers are learning Destructive Wave, which we would normally only see from a 17th level paladin, at level 9. That sucks. Teach paladins they should be better spellcasters. Fuck paladins. They have Divine Smite. True. That's basically the only thing the paladins use their spell levels for anyway. It's the smite. Ancient Companion. When you learn a spell, you learn to call on the spirits of ancient dead and house them temporarily in the remnants of old statues, so they remain longer on this plane to bolster your studies and aid you in battle. Whenever you finish a long or short rest, you can call forth and bond with one such spirit, who comes to inhabit a medium, freestanding statue within 10 feet of you to serve as your Ancient Companion. See this creature's game statistics in the Ancient Companion stat block, which uses your proficiency bonus. Oh, fuck, more of these. Dude. Tasha's already introduced a shit ton of new summons. We don't need more summons. We really fucking don't. Okay? We really don't need more summons. We always need more summons. No! We don't need more summons. Now everybody has a summon. Everybody has a summon, and there's no reason for it. It clogs up the game. It makes it so that people have to constantly be referencing a character sheet that is entirely based off of whatever your stats are. We already have conjure woodland critters, animal friends. Now we have eldritch abominations, undead abominations, which we already have necromancers, so I don't know why we needed that. We don't need more. We do not need more. I get the idea that the Ancient Companion is supposed to be this like thing that helps you to learn more about like your college and stuff like that. And that seems and it seems like it's mostly based off of like I guess it's there to be able to fight alongside you in case you need it. And it's something that you get at first level, potentially, if you're a warlock. So that's nice to have, I guess. But that immediately becomes, like, overridden. Like, the moment you start to get into, like, level 3, level 4, level 5. Like, we don't need this guy anymore. 5 plus 5 times your level in this class is their HP. Oh my god. You can touch the Ancient Companion and expend a spell slot. And the Ancient Companion regains a number of hit points equal to 10 times the level of that spell slot. Why? Why would anybody waste a spell slot as an action to heal your Ancient Companion for what? 10 HP at level 1? Why? Can you remake these things? The Companion perishes when it drops to 0 hit points, when you bond with a new Ancient Companion at the end of a short or long rest, or when you die. When the Companion perishes, the spirit within returns to this plane of origin. The statue becomes an inert object. But you can make a new one every day. Why would you heal it? I don't understand. I don't get it. We don't need more summons. Find a different reason for this Ancient Companion to exist. Make the Ancient Companion more like a oh goodness, a utility creature, right? Like a familiar, like a find familiar spell, but like maybe a little bit more useful. Okay, maybe do that. Don't give me another creature to deal with on the battlefield, please. There's already so goddamn many. Lessons of the Past. Mage of Lorehold feature level 6+. Through your studies, you learn how to better listen and take to heart the teachings of history. When you bond with your Ancient Companion, you gain the following additional benefits, depending on the type of spirit you chose. Healer. Your hit point maximum increases by amount equal to your level. And you gain the same number of hit points. I guess. Well, yeah. Are we talking about, like, if somebody levels in the middle of a fight? Or, like, when they don't have any HP and they're not resting? Like, oh, by the way, you leveled, so you gained, like, 6 HP. I don't know. That seems unnecessary. When you regain hit points from a spell, you regain an additional 1d8 hit points. Make it 1d6. Make it 1d6. Cleric of Life combined with that. Please no. Please no. Make it 1d6. Just a little nerf, please. Imagine a Cleric of Life healing somebody who already gets bonus hit points healed whenever they're healed. Please no. Sage, you have advantage on ability checks using the Arcana, History, Nature, and Religion skills. Arcana, History, Nature, and Religion. You have advantage on all of those! Whenever you use a check! What? Make it 2 of them. Choose 2. Choose 2 of the following. You have advantage on those ability checks. Much more reasonable. Warrior, if you use your action to cast a cantrip, you can make 1 weapon attack as part of that action. If that weapon attack hits, the target takes an additional 1d8 radiant damage. Oh my god, that'd be so broken on Hexblades. That's so good on Hexblades. Holy shit. Eldritch Blast, plus an attack, extra radiant damage. Plus I've already hexed you, so you're taking extra damage from both my Eldritch Blast, which is now blasting you twice, plus I'm attacking you. It sounds like Magus stuff? Kind of. Kind of does, yeah. Pathfinder Maguses? Yeah. You bond with a new Ancient Companion of a different type, you immediately lose the benefits of your previous companion and gain the benefits from the new... So you can you can change these! On the daily, you can change which one you have! Okay. So you can change these. So you can... Every day you can change them. A healer, a sage, and a warrior. So every day you can, like, change between them. Okay. Well, okay. So, if we do the nerfs that I suggest, 1d6. Yeah, change that to a 1d6. Change that to a 1d6. Change that to a 1d6. And choose 2, not all 4, please. And since you're expending a first level spell or higher anyway, the extra 1d8 force damage for the Sage isn't really a big deal. You can keep that at a 1d8. That's fine. War Echoes, a level 10 plus Mage of Laurel feature. By pulling from the magic of the past, you can cause your opponent's old wounds to resonate anew. Once per turn, when a creature you can see hits a target with an attack roll, you can use your reaction to force the target to make a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC. On a failure, the target becomes vulnerable to one of the damage types dealt by the attack. This vulnerability lasts until the end of the target's next turn and affects the damage dealt by the triggering attack. Yeah, this seems to me to be a Hexblade thing, really. Like, I'm seeing a lot of Hexblade in this. Or Blade Singers. Blade Singers would benefit from this immensely as well. So, like, level 1... level 1... I mean, so you can either do, like, a level 3 Wizard and then level 1 Hexblade. So that you can get these. And then just kind of like level up Wizard to get the rest of these things. Or you could level 1 to get this and then go Blade Song Wizard for the rest. I'm just thinking of ways in which you could make it work. Of course, that's a level 10 feature, so honestly, like, at that point, you'd be like level 11 at least. So... it's not bad, but like it would be fucking crazy to do that alongside of a hex. I'm okay with this. We already kind of have this to a certain degree with other classes. I know that clerics, some cleric subclasses get this. Clerics of Death, I want to say. History's Whims. Mage of Laurel feature from steeping this character in chaotic whims of history. You learn how to briefly channel the wild nature of time itself. As a bonus action, you can enter a state of chronal chaos. When you enter this state and start each of your subsequent turns while in the state, you gain one of the following benefits of your choice. So every time you start like this, wait. As a bonus action, you can enter a state of chronal chaos. This state lasts for 1 minute, so for 10 rounds. So for 10 rounds, you can choose between these 3 things to happen in the beginning of your turn. Binders have basically reached out to entities that were so dead that their souls couldn't be reached by basically any other method and went, hey, I'll remember you exist for a while if you give me cool powers, and the messages went, okay. Kind of. I guess it kind of is that like that, in a way. It's more just like getting knowledge from your ancient, like, companions, rather than anything like that. So I don't think it's necessarily the same thing. It's not like they're giving you powers. It's that your knowledge of history and the people and the ancient spirits giving you knowledge of history in and of itself is what is giving you power, which could manifest in a variety of different fashions via the fact that you're a bard or a wizard or anything like that. For a full minute, you can have luck. You receive brief flashes from the future, stealing yourself against the oncoming assaults. Whenever you make a saving throw against an effect that deals damage, you can roll d6 and add the number rolled to the total. Whenever you make a saving throw against an effect that deals damage, you can add another d6. That's fine. Fuck, this gets at level 14? Honestly, D8. Level 14 feature, buff it a little bit. That's actually a little weak. You rewind time, knitting together injuries as they occur. You have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. Again, this is at level 14 at least that you would get this. I mean, this just feels like nothing. Make it equal to the bard buff? Yeah. At level 14 plus, whatever the equivalent bardic inspiration would be, make it that. I believe at that level it would be like a D10, wouldn't it? I want to say. That sounds right, yeah. Yeah, make it a D10. That's fine. Swiftness. Time stutters, slowing others but hurtling you forward. Your movement speed increases by 15 feet, and you do not provoke opportunity attacks. This feels like nothing. I'm gonna be honest. Like, in comparison to the other shit that you get, War Echoes being able to like make somebody like vulnerable for a round, not even a turn, a round, a full round. You make somebody vulnerable with War Echoes, and the Lessons of the Past, the crazy levels of shit you can do here. Like, honestly, this feels like it's, like, limp dick. I get that it's for a minute, but what combat lasts more than, like, 3 rounds? I don't know. Oh, I get increased movement speed for 15 feet. At that point, don't you have Misty Step, like, don't you have, like, 10 casts of Misty Step you could do? Who cares? There are spells you can cast on yourself to make it so that nothing's going to hit you, period. Why would I care about resistance at level 15? Luck is the only thing that makes any sense, but that even needs buffed in order for that to actually be good. Alright. So that's College of Lorehold. Or Mage of Lorehold, or whatever. So, I don't like the fact that the Ancient Companion is literally just yet another summon. I don't like that. I don't want that. Just make it a Find Familiar equivalent, please. That would be a lot better. So make it more like a Find Familiar. Don't make it yet another summon. Please, no. I don't need more to deal with as a DM. It's insane already. Everybody gets summons now, and I hate it. Healer needs to be this. This needs to be bumped down to like a 1/6, maybe even a 1/4. This means like choose 2, don't get all 4. That's insane. Please no. We don't need another lore master. We don't. Especially when you're picking and choosing every day. The extra 1/8 force, I don't care about that on the Sage. That's fine. It's whatever. Warrior, this is more or less okay. This might need nerfed a little bit, but honestly, it's not a huge deal. I'd say make it a 1/4 maybe to make it equal to like the Furious Strikes that Rangers have access to. Not a 1/8. Because that's every time you use an attack, right? Oh, no, just when you use the attack as a part of the cantrip thing. I don't know. Because, like, Hexblades could do crazy shit with this. Either a 1/4 or a 1/6. I'm not sure about the 1/8, though. That's an extra longsword's worth of damage. And it's radiant damage, so, like, it's very unlikely that things are going to be resistant to it. And also, this just sucks. Just, these two suck. Figure something out entirely for these. These are nonsense. And this needs to be buffed to a D10. Mage of the Prismari. Druids, sorcerers, and wizards. Mage of the Prismari uses surges of elemental energy to express who they are and how they see the world. To them, magic and motion are one and the same. Both are exhibitions of raw creativity through which masterpieces are made. In their pursuit of the arts, some Prismari mages focus on perfecting the fine details of their technique, while others prefer to unleash their wild creative visions and dazzling spectacles of elemental power. Upon selecting the Mage of Prismari subclass, you gain 2 features, creative skills and kinetic artistry. In this subclass's features, any reference to your class refers to the class, blah, 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 blah. And you subsequently reach this level in the class, blah, blah, blah. Same thing as all the others. Creative skills. Level 1. You gain proficiency in 2 of the following of your choice. Acrobatics, athletics, nature, or performance. That's fine. Choosing 2, not all 4. Please learn from that. Kinetic artistry. You can dash as a bonus action, which you take this when you take this bonus action, choose one of the following beneficial effects. Additional effects. Boreal Sweep. Icy water swirls around you. Until the end of your turn, you can move across the surface of water as if it were harmless, solid ground. Okay, so we're just going to give them the same ability that monks get at level, like, 9? I don't know about that. Additionally, when you leave a space within 5 feet of a creature, you can force that creature to make a strength saving throw against your spell save DC. On a failed save, the creature is knocked prone. A creature can be affected by the water only once per turn. Okay, take away water walking? Maybe put this in later? Not immediately. God, do we got to step on the monks' toes more? They get this at level 1? Yeah, I can just dash as a bonus action. And I can just run on water. Meanwhile, monks have to fucking train for years. I'm coming to the conclusion that the monk class needs the Ranger revision treatment. Water walking, while super cool, is also highly situational. It can come at a lower level and be fine, in my honest opinion. I agree. You use the bonus action this way a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. So you can only do it twice. Still, though, I say give them that at a later time. Scorching Whirl. Flames wreathe your steps. Once before the end of your turn, you can force each creature within 5 feet of you to make a dexterity saving throw against your spell save DC. On a failure, a creature takes fire damage equal to 1d4 plus your spellcasting modifier. That's fine. Thunderlight Jaunt, you take a lightning form. Until the end of your turn, you can move through the space of other creatures, and you do not provoke opportunity attacks. If you end your turn inside a creature space, you are pushed to the nearest unoccupied space. That's fine. Yeah. Favored medium. Okay, so yeah, just take that first part out. Just stop making it so that everybody can do everything that monks can do earlier. Stop it. Stop it. Get some help. Favored medium. Honed your forms of elemental expression to best suit your ideas. Choose one of the following damage types: cold, fire, or lightning. You gain resistance to that damage type. Yeah, that's a fine thing for level 6. Additionally, when you cast a spell using a spell slot that deals the chosen damage type, you emit a spectacular aura of artistry, which extends 5 feet from you in every direction, but not through total cover, and lasts until the end of your turn. While the aura is active, each creature of your choice has resistance to your chosen damage type while within the aura, as you shape your favorite elemental medium around them. Honestly, extend the aura. Everybody else gets auras of like 20, 30 feet. Extend the aura. Make it 20 feet. You can change your choice of damage type whenever you finish a long rest. That's super cool. I like that. I like that you can, like, pick and choose. Like, if you know what you're going to be fighting the next day, then you can be like, all right, guys, I can give us resistance, but you're going to need to give me a little bit of time to attune myself to a different element. I like that. Focused expression. Honing your talents, you skillfully infuse your motions with even more potent expressions of elemental might. Once per turn, when you deal damage to at least one target, you gain an additional effect determined by the damage type chosen for your favorite medium feature. Cold, one of the targets of your choice, takes an additional 1d6 cold damage and must make a constitution saving throw against your spell save DC. On a failed save, the target's speed is reduced by 10 feet until the end of its next turn, as ice mires it. A target can be affected by this ice only once per round. That's fine. Fire, 1d6 damage. Creature of your choice within 30 feet of you. The chosen creature gains 1d6 temporary hit points. That's fine. One of the targets of your choice makes an additional 1d6 lightning damage and must make a dexterity saving throw against your spell save DC. On a failed save, the target is unable to take reactions until the end of its next turn, as residual lightning shocks its form. That's fine. It's only taking away reactions. It's not like it's stunning them. Yeah. This is fine. It's actually a little underpowered, honestly, but it's fine. I wouldn't really buff it all that much either. Impeccable physicality. Level 14 plus, Mage of the Prismari feature. Your relentless dedication and training have instilled an outstanding sense of precision and grace in your art. You gain proficiency in dexterity saving throws if you do not already have it. Additionally, when you make a dexterity saving throw, you can treat a d20 roll of a 9 or lower as 10. This is fine, honestly, for a level 14. It's really not that bad. Other classes have access to similar things. It's not a big deal. It doesn't feel very creative, honestly, and it feels like kind of a meh thing for a level 14, but it's fine as it is. Mage of Quandrix. Those become mages of the Quandrix. Math and magic go hand in hand. Oh, good. One for Ensavier. Such individuals learn to break down natural phenomena into their core numerical opponents and, through manipulating those, alter reality on a whim. Their talents range from tangible physics, like multiplying plant growth and redistributing elements of probability and acceleration, to bizarrely theoretical exercises that warp the fundamentals of space and self. Using the subclass, same stuff as the rest, Quandrix spells. Gain the cantrip's guidance and the first level spell, Guiding Bolt. Who the fuck can have this by again? Sorcerers and wizards only. Okay. You learn the cantrip Guiding Bolt. Yeah, I can see that. That makes sense thematically. You learn additional spells as you level. Enlarge, Reduce, Spike Growth, Aura of Vitality, Haste, Control Water, Freedom of Movement, Circle of Power, Pass Wall. All of these make sense considering the thematics. I like it. I think it's fine. Functions of probability. Level 1 Mage of Quandrix feature. By iterating the mathematical patterns of reality, you can nudge chance to tilt around a creature. When you cast a spell using a spell slot that targets at least one creature, you can choose the creature or another creature within 30 feet of it, including yourself, and add one of the following effects. Diminishing function. The chosen creature must succeed on a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC, or the creature must roll a d6 and subtract the number rolled from the next attack roll. It makes before the start of your next turn. Okay. I'm okay with it. Because you gotta hit them first with the spell, right? Yeah, I would change this to make it so that you have to hit the spell first in order for it to take effect, instead of just casting. Because the way that it says this right now is, if you just cast one, even if you fail entirely, you can still use these, which kind of defeats the purpose in my opinion. Supplemental function. Once before the start of your next turn, the chosen creature can roll a d6 and add the number rolled to the dice. Okay, supplemental and diminishing. Fair enough. Supplemental for helping your team, diminishing for decreasing the effectiveness of your enemy. Fairly fine. Velocity shift. Yeah, change that at the very least to make it so that you have to hit them first. You learn to manipulate kinetic formulas, and after the velocity of an alter, the velocity of another creature, when a creature, you can see, starts its turn and moves to a space within 30 feet of you, you can use your reaction to force the creature to make a charisma saving throw against your spell save DC, which it can choose to fail. On a failure, the creature is teleported to an unoccupied space of your choice that you can see within 30 feet of you. I guess a way to rephrase this, by the way, would be... when you cast a spell successfully, when you successfully cast a spell using a spell slot that targets at least one creature. No. When you cast a spell using a spell slot that targets at least one creature and it hits or they fail their save, you could choose that creature or another creature within 30 feet of you, including yourself. Something like that. Something like that. I don't know. Figure out a way to make it not very confusing as far as wording is concerned. On a failure, the creature is teleported. Blah, blah, blah. You can use your reaction this way a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. Yeah, that's fine. Repositioning people around the battlefield. Yeah, I like that. Force. It's just a force move. It's just a force move, but it's a teleportation, so it can kind of like go around terrain and shit. I like that. Null equation. Through careful calculations, you beset your enemies with abstract equations that reduce their might. You! What's the logarithmic formula for blah, 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 blah? I'm trying to imagine exactly how this would manifest. I'm just like attacking you with math. Once per turn, immediately after dealing damage to a creature, you can force the creature to make a Constitution saving throw against your spell save DC. On a failure, the creature has disadvantage on strength and dexterity saving throws, and its weapon attacks deal only half damage. Because they're sitting there trying to figure out what the hell is the answer to your math question. These effects last until the start of your next turn. I just love the phrasing. It's nice. I like it. I think it's great. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you can regain. Like it's like if you cast a spell on somebody, and then you're like, and additionally, I put this in front of their face. Oh, yeah, that's great. Here's how the null equation would work.
Is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. That's insane. That's absolutely insane.
Yeah. Quantum tunneling. Your mathematical expertise extends to altering the foundational equations of your very being. You gain resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. This is just copying from the Lore Master thing, whatever. Additionally, you can move through other creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain, but you take 1d10 force damage for every 5 feet you move while inside another creature or object. If you end your turn inside a creature or object, you are shunted into the nearest unoccupied space you are last occupied. Creature and this should include taking the creature and or object that you are traveling through also taking the damage, in which case this would be all right. So yeah, this is more or less okay. I'm pretty okay with this. I just think that this should include the thing that you're traveling through should take damage as well. I think that would be good. Like you're the Flash, just like putting your hand through somebody, and they're just like, and you're like, I like it. I like that. That image in my head is nice. Mage of Silverquill. Bards, warlocks, and wizards. Mage of Silverquill own the power of words. They channel the magic of light and shadow through words, whether spoken aloud, written, or signed through gestures. The words of a Mage of Silverquill bring salvation to their allies and despair to their enemies. Eloquent Apprentice. You learn one cantrip of your choice, either Sacred Flame or Vicious Mockery. Again, Sacred Flame. Why Sacred Flame? I guess light and darkness. Yeah, sure, fine. Vicious Mockery, obviously. It doesn't count against the number of cantrips you know, and it is added to your spell list, it is added to your class spell list if it isn't there already. Additionally, you gain proficiency in the 2 of your following skills. Again, choosing 2, nice. I'm fine with that. Silvery Barbs. You can evoke words laced with magic to demoralize your foes and turn their misfortune into a boon to bolster your allies. Immediately after a creature you can see within 60 feet of you succeeds on an attack roll, an ability check, or a saving throw, you can use your reaction to demoralize the creature. Unless the creature is immune to being charmed, it re-rolls the d20 and must use the lower roll. Creature is empowered. If the attack roll, ability check, or saving throw then fails, you can choose a different creature you see within 60 feet of you. You can choose yourself. That creature is empowered and can re-roll one attack roll, ability check, or saving throw it makes within 1 minute and use the higher result. So this is very similar to, this is very strong, and it is very similar to Divination. It kind of steps on Divination's portent. Like, I get it, and I like it, but it does step on portent really badly. Especially since you can use this more often. Oh, no, you can only use it once a day. Okay. Still, it's basically the same thing as portent, but like a little bit, like it's just structured a little bit differently, where the thing has to fail their thing before you can have somebody else re-roll theirs. I don't know. It's not quite the same, because portent says you take this result instead, a dice that I rolled way earlier in the day. Whereas this has you re-roll the thing. Chronergist also has something like this, so it's kind of stepping on that as well. I don't know. I feel like this is an overused ability. Just throw this away, think of something new. Because this is this is already too similar to both Portent as well as the Chronologist's like time shift shit that they get. I guess the point is that bards and warlocks will have access to this now too, but honestly, if 2 subclasses already basically have this, then you need to figure something else out, man. Inky Shroud, you learn the Darkness spell. It's already in your class spell list if it isn't there already. You can cast a spell without expending a spell slot, and you can't do so again until you finish the long rest. When you cast a spell in this way, you can see normally through the darkness created. When a creature you can see starts its turn in the darkness, you can deal 2d10 psychic damage to that creature. When a creature that you can see, because you can see through the darkness, wow, that's strong. Cast on an entire group of creatures, and then every time one of them starts their turn in the darkness, you just be like, boom, 2d10 damage. You only do it once a day, though, so it's fine. I think it's fine. Because you can only use this part of the feature if you're using the free cast. If you're using the free cast. You don't get to use it if you're just casting a regular darkness. So that's fine. Infusion of Eloquence. When you cast a spell that deals damage and you invoke additional words of power. When you cast a spell that deals damage, you can invoke additional words of power. Change the spell's damage type to your choice of Psychic or Radiant. Any creature damaged by the spell takes extra damage equal to your proficiency bonus and has emotions swayed with despair or adoration. Based on the damage type. Creatures charmed by you if you do radiant damage to them until the end of your next turn. Creatures frightened of you if you do psychic damage to them until the end of the next turn. Okay. You use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. I don't know, that's weird. Like, you do radiant damage to somebody, and now all of a sudden they, like, really like you? Like, that's bizarre. I don't know how I feel about that. That's just a really weird thing. I'm doing damage to you, and it's making you like me. I guess, like, maybe, like, if you want to add some sadomasochism to your D&D, I guess that could make sense. I can imagine a damaging charm like the Greek myths often portray. Yeah. It's just weird. You can invoke a word of power that has Pinnacle of Magical Study. You gain the following options. Deadly Despair. When the target of your silver bars fails on an attack roll, an ability check, or a saving throw because of the reroll, you can invoke a word of despair and give the target vulnerability to one damage type of your choice till the start of your next turn. This is just copying off of something that we saw earlier. Come on, guys. When a creature you can see within 60 feet of you takes damage, you can invoke a word of power using your reaction to grant the creature resistance to that damage, and you take an amount of psychic damage equal to the damage that the creature takes. So you can... Okay. So yeah. Deadly Despair, causing somebody to have vulnerability on a damage type of your choice. Again, we've already saw this earlier, and it's already on Death Clerics. I don't know. Or Grave Clerics, I should say. I think it's Grave Clerics. Yeah, Path to the Grave is what it is. So, Grave Clerics already have this. And we already saw this earlier. The whole, like, causing vulnerability thing, like, God, it feels like these guys just don't have any ideas. Mages of Witherbloom draw their magic from the energy that endlessly flows from life to death and back again. They see the duality of all thriving life and inevitable death in all things. Tapping and manipulating the transition of energy between these states, some Witherbloom adherents focus on vital energies to nurture life and empower others, while others embrace the drain of vitality into decay to sap and strike down their foes. Witherbloom spells. You learn the cantrip Spare the Dying, and the first level spells Cure Wounds and Inflict Wounds. So you know both of those. I feel like you'd have to choose. Choose one or the other. You learn Spare the Dying, and either Cure Wounds or Inflict Wounds. Quick change, easy change. Because everybody else just learns like a cantrip and a spell, or 2 cantrips and a spell. But this is like 2 pretty powerful fucking spells, let's be honest. Especially since both of those can be upcasted to hell and back. You learn additional spells when you reach certain levels in this class, as shown in the Witherbloom spells table. Each of these spells counts as a class spell for you, but it doesn't count against the number of spells you know. If you're a druid, you always have these spells prepared, and they don't count against the number of spells you can prepare each day. So you know Lesser Restoration and Ray of Enfeeblement, Revivify and Vampiric Touch, Blight, and Greater Restoration, Anti-Life Shell, and Mass Cure Wounds. I like this. I like these spells. One good, one dark. Every time. But the theme is that you're juggling life and death, so you should have access to both. Maybe give Chill Touch and Spare the Dying for that duality. Yeah, Chill Touch, Spare the Dying. Yeah. That would be good. Give Chill Touch and Spare the Dying. And then choose Cure Wounds or Inflict Wounds. Because it points out that there are some people who focus on healing and using vital energies to nurture life, and others who embrace the sort of vitality of draining, decay, blah, blah. So, like, it depends on which one you want to specialize in. Which is also why they give you choices on which ones you want to do when you get these spells. And I like this. I like this duality. Really. I do. I really do. Essence Tap. As a bonus action, you can draw on a reservoir of life essence to empower yourself for 1 minute or until you use this feature again. For the duration, you gain one of the following benefits of your choice. Overgrowth. When you choose this benefit and as a bonus action on subsequent turns while the benefit lasts, you can expend and roll 1 hit die. You regain a number of hit points equal to the number rolled plus your spellcasting ability modifier. This lasts for a minute. As a bonus action on subsequent turns, when the benefit lasts, you can expend and roll 1 hit die. I like this. God, we need more of that. We need more out of short and long rest uses of hit die. Please add more of that. Yeah, fine with it. Absolutely fine with it. Hope that we have more of this, please. S tier, please. More uses for hit die. I'm begging you. Withering Strike. When you deal damage and you can change the damage of type. You can change the damage type to necrotic, and you ignore resistance to necrotic damage. Yeesh. Maybe keep the ignoring of resistance to necrotic damage until you get to level 6, huh? How about that? Jesus Christ. Just straight up ignoring resistance to necrotic damage? Come on, man. Holy shit. That's insane. Witherbloom Brew. Game proficiency in herbalism kits. When you finish a long rest, you can use an herbalism kit and a pot or a cauldron to create magic brews. Create a number of brews equal to your proficiency bonus. Each brew requires its own flask, and a brew retains its magical potency for 24 hours or until it is used. For each brew, choose the following effects. Fortifying. Choose the damage type. Creature can drink this brew to administer it to another creature as an action. The recipient gains resistance to that damage type for 1 hour. I like this. I like this. You can create multiple brews and give them to your party in accordance to what they need? Dude. This is awesome. Cricketing. A creature can drink this brew and administer it to another creature as an action. The recipient gains 2d6 hit points, and 1 disease or condition from the following list affect the recipient ends. Charmed, frightened, paralyzed, poisoned, stunned. I love it. I fucking love it. Toxifying. As an action, a creature can apply this brew to a simple or martial weapon, and the next time the weapon or a piece of ammunition fired by it hits a creature within 1 hour, the target takes 2d6 poison damage. I love it. A thing to do during downtime in the morning after you guys get done with the rest that you can use to help everybody on your team as well as to affect enemies. Holy shit, you're creating potions. It's like an alchemist, but alchemy actually being useful. Witherbloom Adept. Your connection to the flow of life force deepens. Once per turn, you can deal necrotic damage to restore hit points using a spell. One target of a spell takes additional damage or regains additional hit points equal to your proficiency bonus. Oh, okay. So if you're doing damage, then they take additional damage equal to your proficiency bonus, and if you're healing somebody, then you're healing them. Okay, yeah, that's fine. This is... Considering the other stuff got me kind of excited. I mean, this is a little meh. It's a little meh. It makes sense. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. It's just not as cool as the other stuff. Withering Vortex. When you cast a spell using a spell slot that deals necrotic damage to any number of creatures that aren't undead or constructs, choose one of the creatures that took damage. You drain an amount of life energy equal to half the damage dealt to the chosen creature. One creature other than yourself that you can see within 30 feet of you regains the number of hit points equal to the life energy drained. To any number of creatures that aren't undead or constructs. That's pretty fucking cool. So, like, if I fireball a group of goblins and I do, like... Because I can fireball and make it do necrotic damage due to the earlier feature, right? Withering Strike. When you deal damage, you can choose the damage type, right? So I can fireball, make it necrotic, and then... like, just do a shit ton of damage to a bunch of people, and then take half of that damage, and then siphon it off to somebody else to heal them. That's fucking awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. You use this number of times equal to a free proficiency bonus, and regain all expended uses when you finish the long rest. I love it. I love it. Mage of the Witherbloom. Fucking top tier. Awesome. Only change that I would make to the entirety of the thing is the beginning spells you get, Spare the Dying and Chilling Touch, and then a choice of Cure Wounds or Inflict Wounds. One of those two. That's the only change that I would make. Everything else, fucking awesome, fucking great, awesome, amazing. All in all, when it comes to this particular UA, I'm going to give it a B. We're going to give it a solid B. Witherbloom, super exciting. Definitely, like, upped the ante as far as the rest are concerned. Mage of Lorehold, fuck. I hate summons. There's too many of them. Change that stuff needs changed. Some of this stuff is a little overtuned. Being able to just have advantage on like all knowledge checks is stupid. I hate it. Lore master wizards in the first place being able to do that is really dumb. I don't like it. Take that out. We don't need that shit. The fact that like two of the the vulnerability stuff. Can we think of something new, please? I get it that they manifest in different ways, but come on. This stuff is useless outside of luck, which needs buffed. Prismari, stepping on the monk's toes. I don't appreciate that. But all the rest of it seemed to be pretty freaking cool. I was fine with all of this, essentially. This is great. I like all of this. This is a little meh. It's not bad. It's not great. It's just kind of meh. Mage of the Quandrix. Functions of probability. Oh yeah, quantum tunneling needed to take the thing that you're moving through needed to take force damage. That's what it needed to do. Silver Quill, that's right, silvery barbs. This was the thing that pissed me off because it was essentially just doing the exact same thing as either Portent, not quite the exact same thing, but close enough as Portent and the Chronologist. Please think of new stuff. Inky Shroud I was fine with. Infusion of Eloquence I was weird. But I guess it could work. I don't know. This seems weird to me. I don't know exactly what's weird about it or what's wrong with it. I'm not going to judge it. It's just kind of, it's just strange. Maybe some people will be able to get some good use out of it. Maybe it'll cause some fun interactions and stuff. I don't know. Like, I get it. The charm condition prevents somebody from attacking you, right? So you do damage to them, and they're just like, "Thanks, may I have another?" And then they just move to somebody else instead of attacking you. So I get the mechanical point of it. It's just weird to do damage to somebody and have them like you. And Witherbloom, love Witherbloom. Okay, so yeah, all in all, giving it a B. Definitely some stuff that's either overtuned or unnecessary. Some things that need to be nerfed. Some things that actually need to be buffed. At least in my opinion, from a first thing, I haven't playtested any of this yet, but this is just like my initial thoughts going over the whole thing. I love the idea of introducing mages of Strixhaven. I love the idea behind it, and it's not a complete fail as far as I'm concerned. All right, a lot of this stuff is perfectly fine. A little bit of a rewording on some things, changing a few things around, but all in all, I'm pretty okay with this UA. I would just make some changes myself if anybody in my games were using this particular UA.